Arsenal at their lowest. By late 2019, Arsenal were a club without direction. The swagger of the Invincibles was long gone, replaced by confusion and frustration. Under Unai Emery, the football had become passive. Arsenal pressed without conviction, defended without shape, and played with little confidence. The numbers told the story, conceding 1.5 goals per game, ranking mid-table for shots and possession. They were easy to play against, too open in transition, vulnerable in the air, and lacking leaders. Arsenal weren't just losing matches, they lost their identity. A new beginning, December 2019. Mikel Arteta returned to Arsenal, not as a player, but as a young coach with an idea.
I have given the opportunity to be the manager of this football club. I've been preparing for a few years for this challenge to come.
He spoke less about winning titles and more about rebuilding standards.
The first thing is a little bit to change the energy. I feel last week I was here with Manchester City and I was a little bit down after the game when I felt what was going on. So we have to try to engage everybody.
His arrival didn't spark instant success. Arsenal still finished 8th that season, seemingly lost in transition, but they did show signs of progress, especially in their FA Cup run, where they beat Man City and Chelsea using compact counter-attacking football. Although the FA Cup win in 2020 wasn't a turning point in results overall, it was a signal of potential success to come. It proved that structure and clarity could make Arsenal competitive again. Rebuilding from the ground up, Arteta knew Arsenal's problems ran much deeper than just tactics. The club lacked alignment from the top all the way to the bottom. So began the structural reset. Edu Gaspar became sporting director, tasked with creating a clear recruitment model. Crucially, Arteta gained authority, not just as a coach, but as a key voice in football operations. Senior players who didn't buy in, Özil, Mustafi, or Aubameyang, were moved on. In their place came young, coachable players with personality: Ramsdale, Ben White, Odegaard, Tomiyasu, and Gabriel. Alongside academy graduates like Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe, Arsenal suddenly had a squad that reflected their manager's values. They were hungry, they were disciplined, and they had ambition. In a post-Wenger era, Arsenal became easy to beat. Teams came to the Emirates confident that through intense pressing they could force mistakes and expose the soft midfield.
The ball out of his feet.
Defensively, they had disconnected lines. The fullbacks often pushed way too high up the pitch, leaving space behind. The midfield lacked control, too many touches, not enough pressure. In possession, they were predictable, reliant on individual moments from Aubameyang or Pepe rather than coordinated play. Arsenal could dominate the ball but collapsed under physical or tactical pressure. That's what Arteta wanted to fix. Arteta's philosophy was clear: control the space, control the game. He implemented positional play system inspired by Guardiola but adapted to Arsenal's own strengths. Fullbacks began stepping into midfield to help build up the play, centre-backs pushed higher up to compress the pitch. Odegaard and Saka created overloads between the lines, while the wingers stayed wide to stretch opponents. In Arteta's first full season, Arsenal ranked mid-table in pressing and possession. By 2023, they were the top two in both, averaging 60% possession and recovering the ball within 5 seconds of losing it in almost 1/3 of all situations. This wasn't the Arsenal of old, but an evolution into a side that were difficult to break down defensively and could press, suffocate and sustain attacks.
For Martinelli, showing no ill effects of that knock that he picked up. It's a great ball in. Odegaard makes it two. A lightning quick start from Arsenal.
Behind the scenes, Arsenal's rebuild was guided by analytics. Edu and Arteta built a data-driven recruitment model focused on player profiles rather than the names. Each signing was assessed on pressing resistance, progressive carries, and off-ball work rate. Odegaard ranked among the league's best expected assists. Saliba had a 93% dual win rate, elite composure for his age. Ramsdale's passing range opened new build-up patterns, and Declan Rice, their record signing, led the league in ball recoveries and distance covered. Every addition fit into a bigger puzzle. For the first time in years, Arsenal weren't chasing stars, they were building a robust and diverse squad of like-minded players. If you want to see how far Arsenal have come, look at the numbers. In 2020-21, they conceded 39 league goals. By 23-24 season, that dropped to 28, the second best in the Premier League. The difference came from structure and personnel. Saliba and Gabriel form one of Europe's most balanced centre-back partnerships, being powerful, mobile, but ultimately comfortable in possession. Ben White adapted seamlessly to right back, while Rice added control in front of the defence. Arsenal were difficult to break down because they defended as a unit, pressing from the front, staying compact, and transitioning intelligently. Players who once panicked under pressure were replaced by confident and imposing individuals who invited it.
And a vital block. Out of Palace's side, he's now a thorn in their side.
Successes come from the fine margins, and Arsenal embraced that. Arteta hired Nicolas Jova, a set-piece coach from Man City, to turn dead balls into opportunities. The impact was clear. In the 24-25 season, roughly 1 in 4 Arsenal goals came from set pieces. Corners, near-post flicks, rehearsed movements, all drilled and repeatable. It's not glamorous, but it wins matches. The Arsenal that used to look vulnerable on corners now dominates them. They become physically and mentally tougher.
Declan Rice, flick on headers, brilliant, and it's in! Arsenal score, Mikel Marino!
Perhaps the biggest change wasn't tactical, but cultural. Arteta set non-negotiables within the squad: discipline, professionalism, collective effort. When players broke those standards, they left. The consistency reshaped the dressing room, and by 2023, Arsenal had one of the youngest squads in Europe, but also one of the most united. Odegaard grew into a composed captain, Saka and Martinelli developed leadership through example, and the team began winning games that they used to draw, the mark of true maturity.
And it's into the back of the net! Gabriel Martinelli!
And at the Emirates, belief returned, not in hype, but in process. By 2023-24, Arsenal were genuine title contenders, 89 points, second best attack, second best defence. Odegaard and Saka both hit double digits in goals and assists. Arsenal averaged 2.5 goals per game at home, which is their second best record in over a decade. They fell short of the title, but the message was clear. Arsenal were back, and they're among the elite. Not through shortcuts, through patience, data and development. Now in 2025, Arsenal look like one of the most complete teams in Europe. Another smart transfer window has added both depth and variety to Arteta's squad. Martin Zubimendi arrived as a natural defensive anchor, allowing Rice more freedom and influence, playing higher up the pitch. Eza brought unpredictability and flair, easing in Arsenal's creative dependence on Odegaard, and Gyökeres, though still settling into life at Emirates, finally gave Arteta a true number 9, a forward who can press, link play and finish. It's still early days, but by November, Arsenal sit top of the Premier League and joint top of their Champions League group. Their defensive metrics, from expected goals conceded to pressing recoveries, rank among the top 3 in the league. But the statistic that stands out the most is their dominance from set pieces. Over 55% of their Premier League goals have originated from corners or free kicks, the highest share in the modern Premier League era. That efficiency, coupled with an outstanding defensive record with only 5 goals conceded in 11 Premier League games and none in 4 Champions League matches, makes Arsenal one of the most feared teams in Europe this season. A highlight so far came from their 4-0 victory at Atletico Madrid, a match in which Arsenal restricted Simeone's side to just 1 shot on target across 90 minutes. It was a performance that summed up what Arteta's Arsenal have become: disciplined, cohesive and ruthless in control. Mikel Arteta hasn't turned Arsenal into serial winners, at least not yet, but he has turned them into something far more sustainable, a serious football club that demands respect, a club with standards, structure and identity, a club that's organised and disciplined and difficult to beat. It's a credit to Arsenal's leadership for sticking with their belief through back-to-back 8th place finishes, for ignoring the noise and trusting the long-term plan. They've created their narrative and stayed true to it. Arteta has shown that rebuilding isn't about slogans or spending sprees, but alignment, conviction and time. They may not have reached their ceiling yet, but for the first time in a long time, they actually look like a team worthy of the title of English champions. What do you think? Could Arteta's side go on to win their first Premier League titles since 2004, or are they going to buckle under the pressure? Let us know in the comments.